welcome to or welcome back to my channel. Today I am talking about something that happened to me a long time ago, my junior year of high school, 9 years ago. It's something that I know a lot of YouTubers do, like Storytime videos, and it's something that I never imagined I would speak about. I don't know, it kind of seems like an obvious video. Like, I think people will probably click on something that says, I got hit by a car. So, like, views-wise, yes, but, like, also, I don't know. I never thought about doing it before, but in a recent makeup video, I was having a hard time, and I was like, I got hit by a car, and it was not as bad as this. And people were like, wait, you're just gonna brush over getting hit by a car? Okay. There was some expressed interest in it, and I'm just gonna talk about it a bit. It was quite a thing. It was like a large, impactful thing in my life. So let's just talk about it, y'all, you know? So I was a junior in high school. I was in Fiddler on the Roof, playing the youngest daughter, and I was going from that rehearsal to an audition for a community theater show about dolls that came to life during Christmas time. And I was auditioning for the gymnastics doll because I used to do a lot of gymnastics. I can do like front handsprings and stuff. And so I was going out for that role. It was the callback. And I was late for the callback. And they knew I was going to be late because I had a high school rehearsal for the other show. I also didn't drive my junior year of high school because I was lazy and I didn't get my license till I was 18. And so my dad was driving me. And I was like, Dad, you have to drop me off in the front of the theater and I'll just hop out and dart inside and you can meet me in there. So the theater's here, and my dad drove up, and I'm in the passenger seat, so I get out, and I go around the back. And my dad was like, watch out, there's a car coming. Cool, I'm so late. I'm one-track mind, focused. I'm getting into this audition. So I walk out, and I look this way, like, okay, no car, cool, and I just walk out. And then I look to the side of me, and there's a car coming full speed ahead towards me, and it's like it was like a Hollywood like movie moment. Like, I saw the headlights, and that's the last thing I remember before getting hit, obviously. And I don't remember this, but apparently I like flipped, like I did flips in the air, and I landed on my head. And I was wearing jazz dance shoes, like jazz character dance shoes, and both of them flew off from my other rehearsal. Both of them flew off. And so I was laying there in the street, barefoot. My dad saw the whole thing. He thought that I was maybe deceased. He tried to call 911, but was so scared and like jolted from it that he called 811 twice, like his fingers kept like slipping. And so I was laying there, and I came to, and I remember thinking, I just got hit by a car. And then I remember thinking, because I was in shock, so I didn't feel any pain from what had happened. So there were some major problems, but I was in crazy shock. And so you go into shock, you don't feel any pain. So I was in crazy shock, and I remember thinking, I just got hit by a car, and I'm like, I'm good, like, I'm okay. I can't wait to tell people, this is what a good story this is. Like, this is gonna be so fun. I'm gonna go into this callback, and I'm gonna have like a story for the casting directors. I'm gonna go in and be like, here's my thing, and I just got hit by a car. Oh my gosh, scares me. So I'm laying there, and a lot of time goes on, but I don't remember that time. I just remember thinking those thoughts. I remember people coming up to me, and like the director of the show, and the casting director, and a couple of people that I knew from the theater, my dad, surrounding me and just being like, you're okay, it's okay, everything's fine. It felt like a movie montage of all these things happening. And then I remember hearing a siren and being like, oh no, things are happening. And that's what, like, I started crying when I heard the siren, because it kind of sunk in that like this was more serious than I now felt that it was. So I was like, no, I'm okay. And I tried to get up, and they were like, stop, chill, Tamara, chill out. And so I just laid there, and they got me into this ambulance. And I remember that's when the pain started kicking in the ambulance, and they were like going really fast because apparently it was pretty bad. So they're going super fast in the ambulance, and like every bump I could feel pain. So we get to the hospital, they give me some pain medication, like a little tiny bit, because they don't want me to fall asleep. And so I'm from a really small town, and so apparently it's a thing that happens 2 days out of the year in my small town. They have to switch over something with the power source of the hospital, and so they were running off of generators at the hospital that I was brought into. Small town. Santa Barbara Hospital is like the next biggest hospital. It's near LA. It's like an hour and a half away. And so we decided to take the ambulance route. So I went from my small town hospital to this hospital in Santa Barbara, California, and which was just so weird. I don't really remember it. I just remember like flashes of like just being in the back of an ambulance. We get to the Santa Barbara hospital, and they switched up my file with somebody else. And so this nurse starts like messing with this leg, my right leg, which is messed up. Like at this point, like I had shattered my knee, like broken my femur, and like there were some broken pieces there. And so she's like moving my leg around, and I was like, oh, that hurts really bad. And she's like, oh, it shouldn't. I mean, I'm sure she didn't say that. I remember her saying that, but I bet that's like my crazy, like messed up, hurtful brain remembering that. I bet she didn't actually say that, but I remember somebody being like, oh, it should be fine. and I was like, it's not fine. And then they like found the right thing. They're like, oh, you should be just like asleep right now. And so I just remember falling asleep right after that. I think they gave me a ton of pain medication. I woke up the next day and they're like, we have to operate. You have a broken femur and like a shattered knee. And so now I tried to ask my dad if he had the x-rays of this, because the x-ray looks pretty sweet. It's got screws and plates and just like a bunch of hardware in my right knee. And looks pretty sweet. It was the first time I ever went into surgery. I had never broken anything, and then I just went straight on in. I just dove straight in to breaking everything. So many mistakes were made. I feel like so many mistakes were made. Maybe this just is what happens, but there was quite a few instances where things happened that probably shouldn't have happened. So I was at home, and I was taking Vicodin for the pain of my surgery. And they gave me a prescription to take 2 Vicodin every 4 hours, which is way too much. I was like 105 pounds at this time. Like 2 Vicodin every 4 hours is way too much to take. And I got crazy addicted to Vicodin because I had been doing that for like 6 weeks. And so I was really addicted to Vicodin. And then they like cold turkey took me off of Vicodin, and I still had pain in my leg. And then I was also going through withdrawal symptoms of Vicodin. And so like I was a complete mess. That kept me out of school for another 2 weeks. Like it was just a mess. I remember going back to school, and I was so weak from it that I was trying to wheel myself. I got out of my dad's car. My dad took me out and like got me into the wheelchair. And then I was wheeling up to school, and there was a small ramp to go up to my class, and I couldn't wheel myself up it, and I was so embarrassed. This girl that I didn't know came up to me and was like, do you need help? And I was like, yeah, thank you so much. And I was so embarrassed about it. And then the next day I went on crutches just because like I was so embarrassed about that, and I was like not ready to be on crutches. So I was so weak. I could go like 10 crutches and then I would have to stop. But, you know, embarrassment in high school, the biggest, worst thing. But yeah, it was a very defining moment in my high school experience. I was definitely gonna fail Spanish though that year, and because I was gone so long, and because I just like went through this terrible thing, my Spanish teacher definitely didn't fail me because of that. So there's one positive thing. I feel like everyone goes through stuff like that, like not like that, but like things happen to everyone, and that was just my thing. Like, what happened to you when you were young that was sad? Oh, I got diabetes and I was hit by a car. Those were my things, you know. Sad things happen to everyone. It was very intense. But yeah, so that's my super fun story about getting hit by a car. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions, let me know. And I will see y'all tomorrow.